Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are back in the garage. We're working on my 2008 Suzuki GSX-R1000, and it is without a doubt still a beast of a bike. The 08 GSX-R1000 had 185 horsepower at the crank, a 12,000 RPM redline, and it's a machine that feels like it crawled out of hell just to sneak up behind you and launch you into oblivion. This bike's got a power band that kicks in around 6,000 RPM, and it feels like a fully spooled up turbocharger that is just gonna kick you in the ass, and it still surprises the hell out of me sometimes. But my bike seems to have picked up a gremlin, something that's holding it back from releasing its full ferocity. And of course, it's completely unpredictable. It's a little surprising when I'm in second gear at triple digit speeds and I go for a handful more throttle, brace myself for the power band to kick in, and then the bike decides that now is the time to have a stroke. I'm not mad, I just wish it would make up its mind. I've got an idea of what's going on, but we're gonna need to take it back to the garage, pull it apart again, and see what we can do. What's up, guys? It is a new day and we are back in the garage. And to be honest, it's actually a few weeks later. Life got a little crazy for a bit there, but we're back and we're gonna finish off the Suzuki GSX-R1000 fuel pump repair project and get it back on the road, and hopefully that will solve our fuel delivery issue where it gets stuck around 8,000 or 9,000 RPM and just loses power. Today we're gonna drain the fuel out of the tank, pull the tank cover and tank off the bike. We're gonna get the fuel pump out of the tank, clean the living crap out of it, install a new fuel filter, put it all back together, and hopefully this solves the problems we've been having with it getting stuck at 9,000 RPM and being starved of fuel. All right, so the things we're gonna need, we've got our new gas siphon, replacement T-bag filter for the pump, some carb clean, and honestly, it's mostly just Allen keys to do this job today. So let's start tearing this down. All right, new gas can, siphon. Don't lose your battery nuts. Okay, now that we've got as much gas out of the tank as we're gonna get, we'll prop the tank up, and then we're gonna attach our fuel line and the fuel overflow drain line. And those are both on the other side, so let's get under there. Okay, there is our pump and fuel level gauge. And there's definitely still a bit of fuel in the pump, but that's why we got the towels. One thing I like to do is take a picture of the pump from each side before I start taking it apart so that I can actually remember where everything goes when I'm done. All right, let's start taking this thing apart. And there's our filter. That is not looking so hot. I think we may have actually found the true problem. And it's not just that the T-bag filter was not doing a very good job. It looks like the one that was in it is not actually the correct one that it's meant to go with it. This is the new one I got, and the parts numbers all match up properly. I think this was the issue. So let's put this all back together. I've already cleaned everything out with some brake cleaner, and yeah, let's reassemble and see how it goes. Okay, so I was wrong. It wasn't that the new filter is the right one, because it clearly does not fit. This is the style that they sold me. That's the style that I need. Not the same. Not the same. All right, guys, we are back in the garage and it is yet again another new day. Last time we were here, we realized that the fuel pump filter that we got was not the right fit. So I have now gone out and bought an entire new fuel pump rebuild kit with everything we need to do this right. So today, hopefully we're gonna finish this fuel pump rebuild and get it back on the bike, and hopefully this will solve the problem with the bike bogging down. All right, so let's see what we got here. This is the all balls kit. All right, new pump. And oddly enough, it comes with one of the filters that we know is the wrong fit for our fuel pump. I guess so it doesn't matter what kind of bike you are rebuilding the pump, you'll have the style that fits. New wiring, fresh O-rings, and then this is what we needed, new fresh filter. Now our filter fits with plenty of clearance. You can see this is now flush. Everything stacks up the way it's supposed to. And this is when I reference the photos that I took last time to make sure I was getting all the wires back in the right spot. Everything looks good. Okay, so now that we've got the pump back in the tank, we get the tank back on the bike. Go. I want to prop this back up a bit, give myself some room to work with. And then just like before, I'm going to put all the connections back in the same order. So we've got our fuel line, reconnect our power to the pump. And then before we go any farther, I'm going to get some fuel back in this, make sure it starts up, and then we can start bolting the last bits back together. All right, then I'm just gonna throw the battery in and we'll see if it starts. I'm gonna have a quick look underneath, make sure we don't have any leaks or anything like that before I fire this up. That is not a surprise that we want. Not seeing anything around the fuel pump. So let's see what we got. All right, fingers crossed. Over to neutral, power on. Fuel pump's priming. Gonna prime it a couple times just to draw some more fuel into the system. Sounds good. Maybe more fuel. So what you haven't seen off camera is that I drained the tank again, removed the fuel pump, took it apart, put it all back together. I have this feeling that the new filter wasn't seated quite right and was blocking the fuel flow, and everything's back together, battery's in. Let's try it again. Fingers crossed. Ah! Nice. Now I'm just gonna let that run for a sec, pull some fuel through and let it warm up, and hopefully it's good to go. Okay, so the bike's all put back together, and now it's just time to get it on the road and give it a test ride and see if what we did actually worked. This project took a few tries to get right, so thanks for sticking with me while I worked through it. The fuel pump was the final fix in the GSXR rebuild. Now that that's in, I cannot wait to open it up and see what this bike can really do. And she's back, baby. Holy crap. This thing pulls hard. I honestly forgot how quick it was. It even surprised me again. Turns out the issue was just a clogged fuel filter choking the pump, and I'm sure swapping in a fresh pump didn't hurt either. I'm super excited to get this bike into the mountains and really open it up. Thanks for following along while I bring these bikes back to life, and don't go too far, I've got a big update coming on the CBR 600 project. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.